Alright everybody, I am back. I just uploaded a full Reptile Room tour / update on Thursday. That I filmed that on Tuesday, and I've already got a new edition that I need to share with you guys. Stuff's always changing down here. This is obviously the new guy. He is a ball python, as you can tell. I'm trying to, let me think of the morph. Pastel, yellow belly, genetic stripe. Yep, that's a big name to remember. But as you can see, he's quite large already. I actually got him for free. I was not in the market for another ball python, but the pet store had him for nearly a year, and so I adopted him. And he's a beautiful snake. He's easy to handle, and as you can see, he's, for a ball python, quite active. So yeah, like I said, I was not in the market for another ball python. I have no intentions of breeding balls. I already have a ball python, but you know, how could you say no? It's hard to say no to anything for free, especially something as beautiful as this guy. So there we go. I got him up off the floor. He kept trying to, slither underneath something. This is a better way to film him. So I've decided to name him Thor. Well, actually somebody else named him, and I'm, geez, when you're 11 snakes deep, you don't get too picky about the names. And he's gonna hit the floor anyway, apparently. Yeah, very active ball python. He's in a 20-gallon right now, but he's definitely going to need an upgrade, because he is just all over the place in there. Look at him go. Beautiful snake. Let's see. He was born not this past August 2015, so he's just over a year old, and he was at the pet store since April of 2016. Alright, so next up we got this African clawed frog. I've had her, I guess, almost a month, give or take. She was in my full room tour video, but in case you didn't watch that one, I decided to show her again since she is technically new. Yeah, and talk more about her, because I just kind of glazed over her in the other video. There's another pet store near me that sells these guys big like this. They're like $30 a pop, and I've been debating getting one for years. And finally bit the bullet. The Oscar died, so I replaced the Oscar with this frog. I was afraid she wouldn't get along with the fish, but so far so good. Everything's been okay. And her name is Stitches, because they have, like, that, you can't really see it. You can see it more on her underside, but they look like they're all stitched up. And I've had these guys in the past. I had a baby one a couple years back, but it managed to get out of the cage, and I was just said, screw it. I didn't want to wait for this little frog to grow, so I got one that was already full grown. And they're really neat looking. There are albino ones there too, but I prefer the natural color morphs. Let's see, the snail was new too. I know, whatever, it's a snail, but geez guys, this thing is an egg machine. Look at that. There are 3 egg sacs right there, and one right there. Now, I had one viewer comment on snail infestations, and I should point out that this is a mystery snail, and since they lay their eggs like this, I'm not really worried about an infestation, because I can just scrape those eggs off if I decide I have too many snails. But in the meantime, I can just take a bunch and throw them around in the various fish and turtle tanks. I mean, there's enough places for snails to go. So I'm not really too worried about an infestation of these guys. There's actually 2 mystery snails in here. The other one's a golden mystery snail, and I don't know where it is. It's lost in the tangles here. I can't find it. The black mystery snail, the one laying all these eggs, yeah, you can't really see it very well. Right there. So I also added, just this weekend, I added a bunch of ghost shrimp in here, a dozen of them. And they are incredibly hard to spot. Oh look, there's a baby snail right there. Yeah, they're everywhere. So there's the 4 egg sacs there and then one that already hatched. So she seems to lay like at least a clutch a week. Anyway, I got the loggerhead turtle. So the idea is that these guys are snail eaters in the wild. So I mean, look at that big head. That's for crunching snails. So the idea is that he'll be getting a steady diet of snails. But where are these shrimp? Oh, there's one. I mean, it's just a ghost shrimp, it's nothing fancy. But I think they're cool. There's one, you can see it there. You can see where they get the name ghost shrimp and why they're so hard to spot. But I figured this tank could use a little bit of a cleanup crew. I mean, it's the plant itself is probably a good enough cleanup crew, but sometimes there's dead insects and stuff in there that I don't always find right away, and I figured those guys can munch on those. So I put a dozen of the shrimp in there. I know at least one already died, but if I stare hard enough I can find the others. But I guess that about does it for this video. The ball python was really what I wanted to show you guys. Oh, for those of you in love with my leopard frogs, there they are. And as you can see, I cleaned the tank. Now I'm going to do a video, probably my next video actually. You can look up for that maybe later this week, early next week. I'm going to do a complete video on these guys, maybe do some feeding, talk about them a bit, and run down the setup, what I got going on in there. So, stay tuned for that. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon.